you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong and welcome to Pointless. This is the quiz show where all the questions have been put to 100 people before the show and all our contestants have to do is come up with the answers those 100 people couldn't think of. Let's meet today's players. Couple number one.
Hiya, I'm Cassie, I'm from London. This is Helen, she's from the Wirral, and we're friends from university.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Beth, this is my boyfriend Andy, and we're from Portsmouth.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Chris, I'm living in Belfast, and this is my father Richard from County Fermanagh.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Vicky, this is my nephew Alex, and we're from Derbyshire.
Thank you very much. These, ladies and gentlemen, are today's contestants. Thanks, all of you. We'll find out more about you throughout the show as it goes along. So that just leaves me one more person to introduce, sweeping up misinformation like a kindly and Latvian hotel maid. It's my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hi, everybody. Hiya. Afternoon.
And to you.
How are you?
I'm very well, very well.
I think we should let people know that just before we came on air, there's an enormous moth loose in the studio somewhere.
Yeah.
So if you catch something out of the corner of your eye, that's what it is. Or if someone starts brushing stuff off there, it's like a beast.
Yeah, you say moth. I think it's a bat.
I think it could be a bat.
It is massive.
I mean, it was about that size.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah. Anything else we can look forward to apart from the moth?
Well, no, I had a whole thing prepared.
Yeah, we've gone moth.
But the moth has rather upset my rhythm, if I'm honest with you.
Fair enough.
I've been slightly put off by it.
Well, there it goes. What? Well, it's a Vincent Price, you mean? OK. Thanks very much indeed.
Yes, a pleasure.
Now, all our questions on Pointless have been put to 100 people before the show. Our contestants here need to find the obscure answers those 100 people didn't get. Now, everyone's trying to find the pointless answer, of course. This is an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add 250 quid to the jackpot. Now, Ian and Jessica won the jackpot last time, so today's jackpot starts off at £1,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, in this first round, I'll take an answer from each of you, but there is to be no conferring. The pair with the highest score at the end of the round, obviously, will be sent home. OK, our first category today is tennis. Tennis. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many US Open tennis champions as they could. US Open tennis champions, Richard.
We're looking for the name of any male or female tennis player who's won a US Open singles title from the beginning of the Open era in 1968 all the way through to the 2012 events, please. So anyone who's won a US Open title from 1968 to 2012. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Helen and Cassie, you all drew lots before the show, and today you get to go first. Now, is that the face of somebody who has a lot of good tennis knowledge?
I do know some tennis players, but I don't know many obscure ones, I don't think.
OK, you're from the Wirral, Helen.
Yes.
What do you do up there?
I work for an investment management firm in Chester.
And you and Cassie met each other at university?
We did,
And you've been
yes.
friends ever since?
Yeah, ever since 20 years ago.
Excellent, excellent. And what do you get up to in your spare time, Helen?
I like cooking and I like buying shoes. I'm struggling to think of things.
That'll do, cooking and buying shoes, that's good. Two vital functions there.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'd be barefoot and hungry. Come on. Anyway, we are looking for winners of the US Open.
OK, Pete Sampras.
Pete Sampras said Helen. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 said Pete Sampras. It's right. It's still going down. Still going down. Look at that, 19. Not a bad answer at all. Pete Sampras.
Yeah, 19 points, and he won at age 19 in 1990 as well, the youngest man to win the US Open. He won it 5 times in all.
Beth, welcome to the show. You're from Portsmouth.
Yes.
What do you do in Portsmouth, Beth?
I work in youth theatre, and I also work in Portsmouth Dockyard.
What do you do in Portsmouth Dockyard?
I'm a PA for a shipbuilding company.
Good stuff. Now then, how's your tennis?
Yeah, I know a few tennis players, but I'm going to take a punt on Andy Roddick.
Andy Roddick. Andy Roddick. Cassie thinks that's a good answer. Andy Roddick, let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It's right. Very well done indeed, Beth. That was a punt worth taking. 5 for Andy Roddick.
Very good start to the show. Yeah, he won in 2003, Andy Roddick. What's the biggest moth you've ever seen at your dockyard?
Not as big as nothing as big as this one in
It's
here.
like the biggest thing I've ever seen. It's like enormous, isn't it?
I haven't seen it for nearly 3 minutes,
Have you not?
which either means it's gone to sleep or it's planning something. Richard, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you are from County Fermanagh.
Yes.
What do you do over there, Richard?
Well, I'm retired now, but I used to work on the NHS.
Very good. And what are your hobbies? What do you do in your
I
retirement?
play in a country band, badly,
What do you play?
guitar,
Yeah.
with 3 other fellas. Play at weekends and in clubs and pubs over there. And that's about it, really. Play a bit of golf now and again, but not as often as I would like.
Do you follow sport
Yep, yep.
enough to feel confident in this category?
Well, I had Andy Roddick, which isn't much good now, but I'm going to say Jimmy Connors.
Jimmy Connors, says Richard. Jimmy Connors. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Jimmy Connors. It is right. Well, 5 is our best score so far. 21, Jimmy Connors. 21, not bad.
Well played, Richard. He scored more than Pete Sampras, Jimmy Connors, amazingly. He's won as many US Open titles, won 5 titles as well.
Alex, welcome back.
Hi.
And another statement shirt there, Alex.
Thank you, yeah.
Remind us what you do.
I work in public relations.
Excellent. And how are you at your tennis?
I'm not bad, actually. Went to the Australian Open last year. So if you asked me about Australian Open or Wimbledon, I probably would be a bit better. I'm going to play it safe and say Andy Murray.
Andy Murray. OK, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Andy Murray. It is right. 46. 46, that is high.
Wow, that is really playing it safe, Alex, I have to say. Yeah, he became the first British man in 76 years to win a Grand Slam title when he won the 2012 US Open. Got into the final in 2008 as well.
Thanks very much. OK, well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. 5, the best score of that pass. Very well done, Beth. Lovely low score for you and Andy to kick off with. Then up to 19, where we find Helen and Cassie. 21, Richard and Chris. Then up to 46, bit of a hike up there, where we find Alex and Vicky. Vicky, this can't happen. I will not stand for you leaving at the end of this round. So we're going to have a low score from you. Best of luck. Can the second players please now step up to the podium? OK, now, Vicky, we're looking for winners of the US Open since the start of the Open era. You are the high scorers
Yes.
on 46.
But it's not 100.
It's really not 100.
It's not 100.
It's not.
Almost.
It's less than half 100.
Yes.
Remind us what you do, Vicky.
I work for a bank.
And in your spare time, what do you like to do?
Spare time, I'm currently researching my family tree.
So how's that gone? How far have you got to?
I've got back to about 1660.
Any skeletons? I'm sorry, that's a really stupid question. It's all skeletons.
It's all skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah. A murderer.
Good.
Yeah. And a man that was hung for stealing a meat pie.
Wow.
So I'm hoping the genes aren't sort of passed down to me, because if we go out this round, it could get nasty.
Hanged for a meat pie. Yeah.
Just
Yeah, when was that? When was the meat pie incident?
about 1700s.
Wow.
Yeah. They really liked their meat pies back then.
Oh, I bet they did.
It would have been amazing if you said 1984.
Vicky,
Yes.
a brilliant answer, please.
OK, Alex has put me in a bit of a difficult position, but I think I'm going to have to take a gamble on Andre Agassi.
Andre Agassi. Andre Agassi. Alex is now nodding. See, where was Andre Agassi in the first pass, Alex? Andre Agassi. OK, the no red line for you as you're the high scorers, but let's see, is it right? How many people said Andre Agassi? It is right. Still going down. Very well done, Vicky. Only our second single-figure score. 9 takes your total up to 55. Maybe that's enough to keep you in the game. Let's hope so.
One in 94 and 99, Andre Agassi. Did you know Andre Agassi, Alex?
Yes, I did.
But you should have said it. Shouldn't you?
He should have.
After my 100 last time, I didn't want to let the aunt down again.
Oh, that's fair enough, isn't
He's
it?
been a good nephew.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, Chris.
Hi, stand up.
Chris, welcome to the show. Belfast is where
Yes.
you've come from. What do you do, Chris?
I work for the Northern Ireland Environment Agency.
What department of the Environment Agency?
It's the waste management department. We regulate anybody who deals with any sort of waste, dealing from car breakers up to district councils, anything like that.
Any infestations of moths, anything like that in some of your...
Infestations of bats, though. There are plenty of
Really?
those we deal with.
Well, I'm still borderline bat, actually.
I think it might be a pterodactyl. You know, they say they're extinct. Perhaps we've disturbed a nest. A pterodactyl's nest.
Yeah, that is feasible.
It's more than feasible. I would say it's probable. The size of the thing. And it emitted that high-pitched scream, didn't it, as it dive-bombed Cassie.
Chris,
Yeah.
how is your tennis? I mean, how's your knowledge of tennis?
It's not too bad. Actually, Jimmy Connors was the first thing popped into my head, so
Sorry.
thanks, Dad, for
Sorry.
that. But there's a couple of names going about my head, but I think I'll try Leighton Hewitt.
Leighton Hewitt. Now then, Vicky and Alex are the high scorers at the moment on 55. You're on 21. If you can score 33 or less with Leighton Hewitt, you're through to the next round. There's your red line. Is it right, though? Richard, what do you think?
I think it is. I think it is.
OK, well, let's find out. And if it is, how many people said Leighton Hewitt? It's right.
That's right.
Well, 5, our lowest score so far. Oh, 1 for Leighton Hewitt. Fantastic, Chris. That's a great answer. 22 your total now. Leighton Hewitt.
That's a terrific answer, Chris. Well done. One in 2001.
Now then, Andy.
Yeah.
Andy, welcome to the show. What do you do?
I'm an architect.
Very good. Do you design residential or commercial?
Mainly
properties?
commercial.
Right. Are you designing? Have you got a sort of grand design plan for a place for you and Beth, maybe somewhere on the dockyards?
Maybe a bit outside of Portsmouth, really.
Bit outside. OK. Tennis. How are you in tennis?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm not too bad on sport, actually, in general, but I've got a few names in my head.
OK, well, listen, you're 50 behind our high scorers, Vicky and Alex,
Yeah.
so if you can score 49 or less, you'll avoid
I'm sort of
equaling their height.
thinking about women's tennis, as everyone's gone men's. And I think I'm going to go pretty safe and go Serena Williams.
Serena Williams, says Andy. Serena Williams. OK, there is your red line. If Serena Williams gets you below that red line, is that too safe, do you think, Beth?
Could be quite high up there, yeah.
Well, we'll see. Vicky will be watching keenly, as will Alex. Serena Williams. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. It is right. Yep, you've done it. Very well done. 18 for Serena Williams. Your total is 23.
The first female answer in the round. Andy sees you safely through to the next round.
Cassie.
Hi.
Cassie. What do you do?
I work for a women's sports charity.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
That's why this is making me a little bit nervous.
OK. Oh, so what does the charity do?
I work for the Women's Sport and Fitness Foundation. We campaign for more women to be active and enjoy sport.
You'll have approved of Andy's choice, of his answer, then.
I would. I was very pleased to hear a woman. Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. What do you like getting up to? Are you a fan of sport generally? Do you follow it?
I spend a lot of time watching sport, really.
Sure.
So I've actually been to the US Open. I've been to all of the Grand Slams of tennis. I'm a big tennis fan. But this stage is making me very nervous.
OK, everything you're saying is making Vicky and Alex very nervous as well. Just to fill you in, they're on 55, you're on 19, so 35 or less.
I've got a feeling that Sam Stosur won it, who's an Australian, in a few years ago. But I'm not going to say her. I'm going to say Kim Clijsters.
Kim Clijsters. OK, Kim Clijsters, there's your red line. If you get below that with Kim Clijsters, you are in round 2. And once again, we will have to say goodbye to Vicky and Alex. OK, Kim Clijsters, is that right? How many people said it? It's right. And you're in the next round. Very well done. Oh, look at that one. 1, taking your total up to 20, the lowest total of the whole round. Very well done indeed.
3 times winner, Cassie, well done. And Sam Stozer also once won in 2011. She would have scored you 1 point as well, funnily enough. But it's a more impressive sounding answer, Sam Stozer, isn't it? I'll tell you a few more people who scored 1 point, actually, before we look at the pointless answers. There's some big names on the list. Rod Laver, Justine Enan would have scored you 1 point. Mats Wilander, Lindsay Davenport, Stan Smith, and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. All of those would have scored you 1 point. Let's have a look at the pointless answers now. There's 9 in all, so I'm going to show you all of them. Gabriela Sabatini, the Argentinian player, another Argentine, Guillermo Villas, would have been a pointless answer. Hanna Mandlikova, the Czech. A couple of Australian men here from the 70s, John Newcombe and Ken Rosewall. The Spaniard only won 1 career Grand Slam, and that was the US Open, Manuel Orantes, won in 75. Marat Safin, the Russian, Margaret Smith-Court, and Svetlana Kuznetsova. All of those pointless answers. Very well done if you said any of those. Let's take a look at the top 3 answers, the ones that most of our 100 people answered online. Rafael Nadal would have scored you 28. Roger Federer, 39. So, Alex, you know what's at the top there? That
I was
really
going to
was.
say Rod Laver, but then I didn't know if he actually did win it or not.
Oh, he did.
So I knew
he
he
did.
wouldn't-
Yeah,
he
would have scored you 1. That's really unlucky. I know why you went for a safe answer, because you got 100 last time.
Yeah.
It's a real shame. You have 46 points, the biggest of all.
Thank you very much, Richard. So at the end of our first round, I'm sorry to say the pair who'll be leaving us with their high score of 55. It's not that high a score. And 2 perfectly good answers there. But I'm afraid, Vicky and Alex, it's you again.
Oh, wow.
I'm so sorry. And you had the tennis chops. You knew some good low-scoring answers there, didn't you, Alex?
My mind just went blank, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's going to be a difficult Christmas.
Well, it's been lovely having you both on the show. Thank you both so much for playing. Vicky and Alex, great contestants. Thank you. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. So, 1 pair gone, 3 now remain. Well, that was very close. On the evidence of that, this is going to be a very, very exciting game. Only 3 points between the highest and lowest scorers there. Helen and Cassie, though, you did very well. You were the lowest of that very tight-knit group. But no, it's going to be very exciting indeed. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 is non-fiction. Non-fiction. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns works of non-fiction and their authors. Non-fiction works and their authors. Richard.
Yes, on each pass, we're going to show you the names of 6 works of non-fiction. You just need to tell us who wrote them, please. Give us a nice obscure answer. You're going to score fewer points. An incorrect answer is always going to score you 100 points. It's going to be 12 in all to have a go at home. Good luck.
OK, so we are looking for the authors of these non-fiction works, and here's our first board of 6. Notes from a Small Island, A History of the English-Speaking Peoples, 7 Pillars of Wisdom, On the Origin of Species, The God Delusion, and Leviathan. I'll read that one last time. Notes from a Small Island, A History of the English-Speaking Peoples, 7 Pillars of Wisdom, On the Origin of Species, The God Delusion, and Leviathan. There we are, 6 works of non-fiction. Cassie, what do you make of that board?
I know 2 or 3, I think. I'm going to go The God Delusion and Richard Hawkins.
Richard Hawkins. OK, let's see if Richard Hawkins is right for The God Delusion. If it is, let's see how many people said it. Oh, Cassie. I'm afraid we will discover in the fullness of time, but I'm afraid that is a wrong answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points.
Yeah, sorry, incorrect answer. I'll give the correct answers at the end of the round, though ironically, Chris and Beth now both believe in God.
Now then, Beth.
Yeah. Tricky. I'm going to play it safe on the one I'm pretty sure of and go with The Origin of Species, Charles Darwin.
The Origin of Species, Charles Darwin, says Beth. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Charles Darwin. It's right. 57. 57 for Charles Darwin.
Yeah, published in 1859.
There we are. Now then, Chris,
Yes.
you're the last person to have this board.
I am.
Seems we only just put it up seconds ago.
Yeah.
And here we are already.
It's not going to make much of a difference.
Oh, really?
It couldn't have been a worse category.
Oh, no. Well, listen, talk
yeah.
us through. Just have a thought on each one, just in case something.
I have heard of Leviathan, but I can't for the life of me think who the author was. But for the only reason, A History of English-Speaking Peoples, I know of, well, I don't know if he's written any books, but there's somebody who's done a lot of A History of books, and I think it may be Simon Sharma. Possibly.
Simon Sharma, A History of the English-Speaking Peoples. OK, let's see if Simon Sharma is right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Simon Sharma. Oh, bad luck, Chris. Bad luck. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. Scores you the maximum of 100 points.
Sorry, Chris. Written by very much the Simon Sharma of his day, though. It was Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill wrote that. Would have scored you 9 points. Now, Cassie, it's not Richard Hawkins, it's Richard Dawkins. Yeah.
Joe, if you just dropped your H at the beginning of that, you'd have got it.
I can sometimes speak like that as well. But it's annoying. I know that. Well, I know the top one as well, so I should have gone for that.
What would you say for the top one?
Bill Bryson.
Bill Bryson, absolutely. Would have been a bigger scorer. I would have scored you 35, and Richard Dawkins would have scored 17. Yeah, Richard Hawkins.
Richard Dawkins, you'd have got it.
Yeah, we could have had it. If you were Cockney, if you were just a bit more Cockney.
I don't know. I've not lived in London long enough, have I?
Yeah. The 7 put us with was T.E. Lawrence, would have scored you 11 points. And Leviathan?
The surname is Hoare, H-O-A-R-E, isn't it?
So what you're saying to me is?
Well, maybe it's not. No. Tell me who it is.
Thomas Hobbes.
Oh, it's Thomas Hobbes.
Thomas Hobbes, yeah, would have scored you 3 points. That's the best answer up there.
Thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure.
We're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. Well, Beth and Andy, 57. Cracking score. The lowest of the pass, as it turns out. Cassie and... Oh, Cassie, so close. Chris, so far away. Yeah. But, and yet, there you both are on 100. But, yes, Helen, Richard, you each know what you have to do. Best of luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more works of non-fiction on the board, and here they come. We have got The Wealth of Nations, The Road to Wigan Pier, Das Kapital, Silent Spring, A Brief History of Time, and The Female Eunuch. I'll read those a second time. The Wealth of Nations, The Road to Wigan Pier, Das Kapital, Silent Spring, A Brief History of Time, and The Female Eunuch. There we are. Remember, we are looking for the authors of these works of non-fiction. And Richard, you need to find the one that's going to score the fewest points for you to make sure you stay in the game.
Well, I'm as bad as he is in this.
Yeah.
I really am.
Is that a slightly nicer board, or is
No,
there are no degrees
not at all.
of that? OK.
Das Kapital Adolf Hitler. Just because it sounds German.
OK. Das Kapital. Is it by Adolf Hitler?
Unlikely.
No red line for you. You're the joint high scorers. No, not so much. I'm afraid that scores you the maximum of 100 points, takes your total up to 200. Sorry, Richard.
It is German, though, to be fair.
It's true.
And Hitler did speak impeccable German. If we can say one thing about Hitler, it's his German was absolutely exemplary, wasn't it? But, yeah, I'll give the correct answer at the end of the pass.
Andy. Andy, listen, there's good news. There's good news. You're through to the next round.
That is good news. Haven't got a clue. The only one I think that I might deduce out of that, maybe Stephen Hawking wrote A Brief History of Time.
Stephen Hawking. Sure it's not Stephen Dawkins?
No, I'm sure.
Stephen Hawking, Brief History of Time. No red line for you, you're already through, but let's see if Stephen Hawking is right for Brief History of Time. Yep, absolutely right. 30. 30 takes your total up to 87.
Well done, Andy. Published in 1988. It quite frequently tops those polls of books that have been bought and never read, doesn't it?
Yes.
A lot of people have got it on their bookshelves.
Do you know, I haven't even got it on my bookshelf, I'm sorry to say.
I haven't either.
Well, it's brief. I can say that for it. Now then, Helen. The high scorers are Richard and Chris on 200. You're on 100. If you can score 99 or less, you are through to the next round. I think you know a few on this board.
I'm going to go for the Wealth of Nations, Adam Smith.
Adam Smith, says Helen, for The Wealth of Nations. Here is your red line, nice and high. Let's see if Adam Smith is right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Very well done. 8. That's a great answer. 8, just what you needed. 108 your total. You are in the head-to-head.
Well played, Helen, from 1776. Some people say it's the absolute birth of modern capitalism and economics, the wealth of nations. Let's look through the rest of this board. Das Kapital, it wasn't Hitler. Do you know
Karl
that?
Marx.
Karl Marx, absolutely right. 31 points. The Road to Wigan Pier.
Is George Orwell.
George Orwell, yep. Would have scored you 15 points. The biggest scorer up there is the female eunuch.
Which is Germaine Greer.
Germaine Greer, yeah, 36 points. And the smallest scorer, the best answer on the board, is Silent Spring. It's an environmental book from the States by Rachel Carson. Would have scored 1 point. That's a terrific answer if you got that.
Thanks very much indeed. So at the end of our second round, I'm afraid our losing pair with a high score of 200, it's Richard and Chris. I'm so sorry. That didn't play to your strengths at all, did it, that round?
Definitely
Not at all.
Well, you had a good crack at it, but Adolf Hitler... Close.
German in it.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, thanks so much for playing. It's been great having you on the show. We'll see you again next time. Look forward to that. Thanks so much for playing, Chris and Richard. But for the remaining 2 pairs, it's now time for our head-to-head. Congratulations, Andy and Beth. Helen and Cassie are now 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,000. Now, to decide which pair it's going to be going through to the final and playing for that money, you're now going to go head-to-head. But the difference is you're now allowed to confer. And the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. Well, Andy and Beth, you're the lowest scoring pair. I think that's largely owing to Richard Hawkins. Richard Hawkins, yeah, that's right. Oh, but we had the highs of Kim Clijsters and the lows of Richard Hawkins.
We're still here. It's okay.
You're still there. Very well done. And Andy and Beth, exemplary answering from you. Very solid. You've come through, and there you are. Very best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. OK, here's your first question, and it concerns actors whose surnames begin with N. Actors whose surnames begin with N, Richard.
We're going to show you 5 pictures now of actors or actresses whose surnames begin with N. Can you identify the most obscure of these 5? Good luck.
OK, thanks very much. Let's reveal our 5 actors beginning with N, and here they come. We've got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are, 5 actors beginning with N. Now, Andy and Beth, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first.
Okay. Well, I know
Talk me through it.
A is Sam Neill. I'm not sure about, I don't know who B is. C is Edward Norton. We're going to go with A, Sam Neill.
Sam Neill, say Andy and Beth for A, Sam Neill. Now, Helen and Cassie, the rest of the board is yours. Talk us through it.
C, we think, is Edward Norton. D is Liam Neeson. E is Jack Nicholson. I don't think we know
no
B.
idea who she is.
I think Sam Neill's going to win, but should we go C?
Yeah, let's go Ed Norton.
Ed Norton, C.
C, Ed Norton. So we have Sam Neill and we have Ed Norton. Andy and Beth said Sam Neill. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's right. 18. 18 for Sam Neill. Helen and Cassie, you've gone for Edward Norton. You think that's not going to beat Sam Neill?
No.
OK, well, let's find out. Edward Norton, is it right? How many people said it? It is right. It's going to go down lower than 18. It's going to be close. Oh, it does it. Look at that. Wow. 4. 4 for Edward Norton. Very well done indeed. Wow. Helen and Cassie, after 1 question, you are up 1-0. Richard?
Yeah, I think only people who really know about films know Ed Norton, but Sam Neill, he's been in Jurassic Park and all sorts, hasn't he? They're both very good answers. B would have beaten both of them, but let's get to her last. Let's start at the bottom. Let's start with Jack Nicholson, because he's the biggest scorer up there. He would have got you 65 points. Then Liam Neeson, next to him, would have scored you 31. And the best answer up there, the answer that would have beaten even Edward Norton, Vertigo has recently voted the best film of all time, and the star of Vertigo is Kim Novak. Would have scored you 2 points. Very well done if you said that.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So here comes your second question, Andy and Beth. This is the one you need to win to stay in the game. It concerns famous paintings. Famous paintings, Richard.
We're going to show you the names of 5 famous paintings now, but you've left a word out of the title of each one. Can you fill it in, please?
OK, let's reveal our 5 famous paintings, or at least the names of our 5 famous paintings, and here they are. We have got Girl with a Pearl Blank, Johannes Vermeer. The Moon Blank, Jackson Pollock. Metamorphoses of Blank, Salvador Dali. The Son of Blank, René Magritte. The Last Blank, Leonardo da Vinci. I'll read those all again. Girl with a Pearl Blank, Johannes Vermeer. The Moon Blank, Jackson Pollock. Metamorphoses of Blank, Salvador Dali. The Son of Blank, René Magritte. And The Last Blank, Leonardo da Vinci. There we are, 5 famous paintings with a missing word. Now, Helen and Cassie, obviously you answer first this time.
I'll be first.
I know. Sorry. Because the way it's written is not obviously that.
What else? Okay, we're going to go for the top one. Girl with a pearl earring.
Girl with a pearl earring, say Helen and Cassie. Girl with a pearl earring. Andy and Beth, the board is yours.
Yeah. We were going to go with that one. We were pretty confident about the last one.
You can say what the last one is if you like.
Might be The Last Supper, but the other 3.
Remember, you have to win this question to stay in the game.
I know. I think. Yeah. All right then. Yeah. Okay. We'll go for the Salvador Dali one, Metamorphosis of Time.
Helen and Cassie both nodding frantically at that. Why didn't you go for it?
Well, we were between the 2, but we didn't know that one for sure, to be fair to them. We didn't know that one for sure.
OK. Metamorphosis of Time, say Andy and Beth. So Helen and Cassie have gone for Girl with a Pearl Earring. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said that. Yep, absolutely right. 59. Well, it's a high score, but it's correct. Andy and Beth have gone for The Metamorphosis of Time by Salvador Dali. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Ooh. Interesting. An incorrect answer, which means Helen and Cassie, after only 2 questions, you are through to the final 2-0. Very well done indeed. Richard.
Yeah, I bet you weren't the only people to say The Metamorphosis of Time with the melting clocks and what have you. It's The Metamorphosis of Narcissus.
Wow.
And would have scored you 3 points. There's 2 more tough answers up there as well. The bottom one is The Last Supper, but would have scored just more than Girl with a Pearl Earring, would have scored 66. Now, these other 2, The Moon Woman by Jackson Pollock would have scored you 1 point. And this bottom one is a pointless answer. It's the famous painting of the guy in the bowler hat with the apple sort of obscuring his face, if you know that one, by Magritte. And it's The Son of Man. And that was a pointless answer. So 3 very tough answers there. Well done if you got all 5 of those. Very impressive.
Thank you very much indeed. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, I'm afraid it's Andy and Beth. Yeah, Metamorphosis. I thought that was right. Metamorphosis of Time. Metamorphosis of Time. Metamorphosis of Narcissus. There we are. We'll all remember that for at least another half hour. But I'm so sorry, Andy and Beth. The good news is it means we get to see you again next time round, which would be great fun. Otherwise, it would all have been over in just one game, and that would have been no fun. Helen and Cassie, we'll look forward to seeing you in a moment in the final. But Andy and Beth, thanks very much indeed for playing. See you next time. But for Helen and Cassie, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Helen and Cassie. You've beaten all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy, so very well done. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £1,000. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. Firstly, you've got to choose your category, and here are your 5 options. They are international awards, playwrights, film stars, football, British musicians.
See, I'm quite good at playwrights, but...
I can't do
Oh,
playwrights.
right, well, let's go for football over that.
You sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, all right. My husband is going to kill me. I'm going to go for football.
Well, you don't say he's going to kill you yet.
He's not going to kill me. He's going to be shouting answers at the screen.
But maybe they'll be the answers that you get.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Excellent. It's a weird time travel, shouting through glass ability. Maybe it'll all come good. OK, now, here comes your question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many winning managers in Europe on more than one occasion as they could. Richard.
We're looking for the name of any football manager who's won the Champions League or its equivalent competitions before that started. It used to be called the European Cup, various other things. From 1956 to 2012, any manager who's won that tournament twice or more, please. So anyone who's won that tournament twice or more. Very, very best of luck.
OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that jackpot of £1,000 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yeah.
OK, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Europe's not my thing. OK. I'm a Forest fan, and I think Brian... Who was managing?
Brian Clough.
Brian Clough. I don't know, name some clubs. I mean, we could
Chelsea.
probably
What, we're
say
talking
Pep
about
Guardiola, but I don't know whether they won it twice when he was managing Barcelona. I don't know whether they won it once.
What, like Premiership?
No,
Or they
well,
have to manage the
it's
country?
Europe, so I'm terrible at European football. This was the problem if Europe came up.
France's manager, Italy.
So, oh God, names just disappear, don't they? I just can't think.
England
Can you think of
or-
any international managers that you've seen that manage countries? So we can just. Jose Mourinho probably hasn't.
Jose, no, but I think what was that Liverpool one?
Oh, I've named
10 seconds
just,
left.
Ericsson.
Sven-Goran Eriksson. I don't think he has, but no. Not that I've managed.
OK, I'm afraid your time is up. So we're looking for winning managers in Europe on more than one occasion. I now need your 3
can't even.
answers.
Brian Clough,
Brian Clough.
Pep Guardiola, and let's say Jose Mourinho.
And Jose Mourinho. Now, of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Probably Brian Clough, but I'm doubting whether he even won now.
OK, Brian Clough will put last. And your least likely?
Mourinho.
Mourinho. OK, let's put those up on the board in that order. And here they are. We've got Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, and Brian Clough. There we are. We were looking for winning managers in Europe on more than one occasion. Your first answer, Jose Mourinho, you thought was your least likely to be pointless. Only one of those answers has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot of £1,000. So let's find out. Jose Mourinho, is it right? How many people said it? Well, it's correct. I don't think that was in much doubt. But how far down is it going to go? He's taking us down through the 40s, into the 30s, into the 20s. Mourinho, 21. 21. Not a bad answer. Unfortunately, not a pointless answer, which means you only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. £1,000, a nice little bijou prize there. Helen, what would you do with your share of that?
I'd go on a little jaunt somewhere, I think. I'll buy some more shoes.
I thought you were going to learn to drive.
Oh yeah, I was going to learn to drive. I might take some driving lessons as well.
Well, you can drive somewhere, go
Buy some
somewhere in a
shoes,
car.
yeah.
That's good. Cassie, how about you?
I'm going to say it on television now. I always said, because I'm on here with Helen and we met at university 20 years ago, I always said we'd throw a big party for everyone that we're still friends with 20 years later.
Excellent. Good idea. Now, 2 more chances to win that jackpot and make that party happen. We're looking for winning managers in Europe on more than one occasion. Let's hope nobody said your next answer, Pep Guardiola. This has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. So for £1,000, let's see how many people said Pep Guardiola. It's also correct. Now, Mourinho took us down to 21. Guardiola now taking us down through the 30s, into the 20s. If this goes all the way down to 0, you leave here with £1,000. Still going down 7. 7. Now, this is getting very exciting. That's a cracking answer. I think how pleased you'd be with that in normal gameplay. That's a brilliant
He's beautiful
answer.
as well, so I'm pleased I get to mention him.
Well, there you are. And he scored you only 7 points. Sadly, not pointless. So only 1 more chance to win today's jackpot. Brian Clough, you thought was your most likely to be pointless.
Yeah.
Why was that, do you think?
Well, I suppose it's a long time ago. I'm a Forest fan, actually, but I wasn't a Forest fan at the time. So, yeah. So I am starting to doubt whether he was the manager. But
Do you think people might have overlooked him, or you think it's doubtful that it's correct?
I don't know. I can't think. I've kind of.
OK, well, let's hope. Brian Clough is a correct answer. Let's hope nobody said it. We're looking for winning managers in Europe on more than one occasion. Your third and final answer was Brian Clough. This has to be right, then it has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. So for £1,000, let's find out. Brian Clough, is it pointless? It is right. Now then, Mourinho took us down to 21. Guardiola down to 7. Brian Clough now taking us into single figures. Down he goes, still going down. 3! Oh! Very, very well done. 3 excellent answers there. And you got it in absolutely the right order as well. Oh, only 3 away. Unfortunately, though, there's a world of difference, I'm afraid. It's only pointless answers in this last round that will win you that jackpot. So I'm afraid you didn't find that pointless answer, and the jackpot, I'm afraid, remains, and that will roll over onto the next show. But we have loved having you on the show, and you've been fantastic contestants. And you do, of course, get to take home our pointless trophy, so very, very well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a very good effort at that question. Actually, 3 correct answers up there. There's only one man who's ever won 3 European Cups, and that's Bob Paisley, the late Bob Paisley of Liverpool. But he would have scored you 5 points, Bob Paisley. Let's take a look at some of the pointless answers. The first one and the last one are probably the easiest one to get. Arrigo Sacchi, who won it with Milan twice. Bela Gutmann won it twice with Benfica in 61-62. Dietmar Kramer won it with Bayern Munich, won it twice. Ernst Happel, one of the very few people who won it with different teams, won it with Feyenoord and Hamburg. Jose Mourinho also won it with 2 different teams. Jose Villalonga won it twice with Real Madrid, and the 2 years afterwards, Luis Carniglia won it twice with Real Madrid as well. 2 more Real Madrid wins for Miguel Munoz as well. Nerea Rocco won it twice for Milan, and probably the one that most people at home will have got, if people have got one, Vicente del Bosque, who won it twice with Real Madrid. Stefan Kovac of Ajax also was a pointless answer. Those are the only pointless answers out there. Well done if you got one. Unlucky, you played brilliantly throughout, and it's a very tough final category.
That was tough. Did you know any of those?
Del Bosque, I imagine my husband will be shouting at, but the rest of them, no, not even close. So.
Well,
don't
unfortunately, don't feel too bad. 3 brilliant answers there. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to you, Helen and Cassie, but we've loved having you on the show. Thank you both so much for playing. Great.
Thank you.
So Helen and Cassie didn't win our jackpot today, which means it rolls over onto the next show when we'll be playing for £2,000. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.